and some other updates as well. I don't know why I said it like that, but anyway, let's go to the office. Oh, I almost fell. All right, that would have been a little awkward. Maybe I shouldn't leave that junk in front of my doorway. But anyway, so what have I accomplished with my Arduino? Well, I think for those of you that were involved in the live stream, you saw where I ran that program where the LED light was flashing, and we played around with the code a little bit, which is pretty simple. It was pretty close to similar experience to working with Python. I need to learn more about the language that we use and what it's called and what it's all about, but it seemed very, very familiar. The initial program was very easy to interpret and manipulate and things like that. So I'm very optimistic about moving forward, doing something more advanced. But that original one was just the light blinking. It was, we learned about one of the what I would assume would be a fundamental principle with Arduino, which is the directing of output. You know, normally you'd be directing your output to the screen with the kinds of programs we did before, where it's strictly software. So it's just displaying to your screen, you know, text and things like that. But now we're actually interfacing with hardware. So we there's a concept of initializing a mode in terms of, you know, what we want to output to. So that was my first program. So I'm learning this, but I would it sounds to me like, you know, if I wanted to start the motor, you know, I would initialize an output that's specific to, I guess not the motor itself, but the pin that the motor is plugged into or something of that sort. But we haven't graduated beyond just triggering the LED. And I got some messages coming in, so I need to get back to work. I just want to give you guys a quick update. So yeah, so I did that, and then did I do another program after that? Oh, we did the other one, which is more advanced, where it was like blinking and fading out. And that one ran into an obstacle where it was, did it loop or did it not loop? It didn't loop. It would flicker and then fade and then stop, even though in the code it said loop. So unless I'm misinterpreting it or something, I mean, this is the code that they gave with the product. So I'd assume the code with the product is supposed to actually work, right? But it wasn't looping. So I guess I'll look into that again, but I'm really, really pumped up. I want to just jump to something with the LCD screen. I'm just going to try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I want to, and guys, when you remember, always click on the like when you, when I do these videos. Really appreciate it. Rasso, good to see you, man. Yeah, Rasso was involved in the live stream. It was really great that you were able to follow along with it as much as you did. And it got really late for you, 3 a.m. I didn't get much sleep myself. I remember you went to bed and I was still up for, I don't know, an hour or two. Then I went to bed and I had to get up the next morning, and yeah, that was fun. But so my next thing is I want to go through the examples and see if there's something with the LCD screen. I want to do something, anything with it. And once I do something with it, I will see, you know, do I feel comfortable going further? Like, can I just output time? I'll research online. Is there some kind of code I can just put system time on the screen? And then maybe look into doing some kind of a alarm clock logic. Maybe we could just start building something. Build an alarm clock, right? So plug in the LCD screen, get it to display something, you know, numbers, text, whatever it's capable of displaying. Then try to tie it into time, and then figure out how to make a, I guess there's a piezo or whatever. There's like a sound generator that's part of the kit. So figure out how to make that work, integrate that into the code. I guess I can do some testing where, let me just see if I can trigger it. So just, you know, it doesn't matter how I trigger it. Just want to make sure that I know how to. So I added in the code where I send a signal to the speaker to make a sound. And once I know how to do that, create some kind of logic where, you know, if time equals blah, 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 send signal to, right? You see we're formulating a plan. So that's my plan with that. So that is Arduino, and this is where it's at. Give you a nice close view. I know that the view from the live streaming sucks. The quality of the camera was something I struggled with. You know, as I do more of these, I will start to perfect it. I may start using the DSLR and seeing if that is a better option. Or cleaning my lens. Let's see if that's a better option, right? As well. I think it's a little foggy because it was a little dirty. But, so here is the close-up on the Arduino board, which you wouldn't be able to see with the other video with that stupid live stream. Focus, focus. Maybe it can't focus that close. All right, so there's an LED in there somewhere, which I can't show you. I mean, I can show you. I can't point it out. It's on there. I'm pretty sure it's visible, but I can't point it out because I have both of my hands covered. And I believe that's DC power right there. So the next thing is to start plugging things into this breadboard. I'm curious to know how that's going to work. But that's it. So I just got to continue. Go on to the next lesson. I just want to... I don't want to get ahead of myself because I want to jump into this alarm clock thing. All I did is one thing with the LED blinking, so I might be moving too fast. I don't know. I'll have to make an assessment. I'll look at the other lessons. I'll skim through a couple of lessons, make an assessment of difficulty level and things like that, and then try to research messing with the LCD, and based on what I find out, I'll decide what I'm going to do. But that's that. So additionally, I am going to... I got more motivation to force myself back into doing my Python videos. The initial motivation was I don't want to lose a skill set, you know, to learn all the stuff that I learned, and we you know, we made some good progress, and then to lose that because I don't necessarily need the skill set right now, but I don't want to lose it. So I was like, let me do something, do anything in Python. Additionally, I've got an additional motivator. So I am in charge of development projects. Naraz, what's going on, man? CPU squad. We got Naraz and Rasso in the house. Good to see you, man. Thanks for the like. So I'm in charge of development projects for a certain technology that I specialize in, and as a result, the more I know about the code or understand the code, the better it is. So it's becoming something now where it would actually be very, very beneficial for me to get back into Python, because right now I need to have a better understanding of the code. Like my developer just did an update, and you know, I'm trying to skim through and try to understand what he did, but you know, I'm realizing that I'm so rusty on Python now that a lot of basics, you know, I'm not clear on because I need to refresh myself. So I was thinking, so number one, I'm definitely going to get back into Python, doing Python videos. But the first thing I need to do is I need to do a refresher. So I thought it would be a cool thing is use the videos I created for the purpose that they were created for, right? They're created for people that want to learn Python. So I'm going to teach myself Python, you know, by watching my own videos. So I'm going to watch my own videos. I'm going to see if I'll probably do a live stream, and I'll go over, because some of you guys, I know you guys have been busy. I know Meganoob has been busy. So maybe, I don't know who said they hadn't done any coding in a while. So I'm not the only person that has not been doing coding. Naraz has been a trooper, man. You, I believe, has been doing a lot of work. I'm really impressed with that. Keep going with that. But for those of us that have not been doing the coding, that need a refresher, I'm going to do a refresher. And the other benefit of that is I will be able to assess how good the videos are. I mean, obviously it's a little biased because, you know, I did the videos, and I'm refreshing myself on something that I was covering in the video. So it's not quite the same thing as someone who doesn't know anything about Python watching my videos, but still I may pick up on some things where I could clean up, maybe make it a little bit more clear, but I will look at how easily I can get back up to speed using my own videos and use that as a gauge of how good the videos are, so I can use that as guidance for future videos. But I gotta get back to work. Right now, I'm trying to figure out something with this code. Like I said, there was some code changes made. Let me see what's going on. Just bear with me 1 second. Okay, so I looked through our GitLab, and I tried to identify the code that was updated, because he told me it was updated, and it looks like, so I asked him if that's the latest changes. So I pointed him to the path, and the developer is telling me yes. Yeah, one thing I need to work on is I'm gonna really be pushing for better communication. That's high on my agenda between development and the rest of the teams. Because right now he's saying, I thought he was saying this to me. I was like, oh, you know, he's saying that he had notified about the latest release on Friday, which I was unaware of. I think I was actually out on Friday. I'm not sure, but that may have been communicated in a vacuum, you know, because, you know, this is something I should be aware of. If there are code changes, I mean, this is something that I own, so I need to be on top of any changes that are being made. So I should be aware of any latest changes. He did specify late on Friday, so that would be possibly beyond business hours, so that could also be part of it. So that makes it a little bit more understandable. But even still, something I need to work on. I clearly missed it. See when we can get it pushed. Okay. Too much excitement heading to you off. Huh. I'm not sure what that means. But so it looks like the new code change was not pushed. So what's happening is the latest version of the code had some issues. So during testing, those issues came up. As you guys know, fix is something that I specialize in. So this is definitely fix related, and we're getting, you know, fix rejects, and that issue is supposedly identified and corrected. So basically we need to test that the changes work. But in order for me to test that, the changes need to be deployed, but they have not been deployed, so I'm waiting for that to be deployed. The challenge here is it's always interesting with the wording. Let's call them the technology partner who we are collaborating with. So what we are building is something that is going to be used in collaboration with an external entity, technological entity. So that entity is actually in Europe. So the challenge is it's 12:50 p.m. local here. For them, it's approaching the evening hours. So you know, a lot of the primary contacts over there are going to be heading home soon. So I can't do anything. We can't test anything until it's deployed. The person to deploy it is really busy. They're trying to follow up to get it going, but you know, who knows what's going to happen. You know, they could get caught up in something else. So long story short, I don't know how long it's going to take before it gets deployed, and a certain window is closing because, again, they're European, so it's late for them. But the good news is the technology partner has an overnight support model. So we don't have 100% availability in terms of resources, but there are people available overnight. So potentially I might be okay. The preference is to deal with the primary contacts during my time zone. So I see someone else has just reached out to me. Let me see if it's relevant to the push. Looking to push. Yep. So this is it. So this is actually, look like they can do it right now. So hang on a second. I'm going to push this version to integration and dev. Can you make sure the MOP is updated so I can, okay, so we've got a document. Let me just reply. Hang on one second. I guess you guys don't need to see my ugly face, so you can look at the ceiling because I need to get going on this. So basically, there's a document we use to track all the code changes and that's going to reference version numbers and things like that. And as a procedure, we want to make sure that's updated before we make a deployment. So that's what I'm being requested to do. Let me check in and see real quick with you guys. Hey Rosso, CPU squad. Rosso said looking forward to these projects. Hey Rosso, how's it going? Everything is all right. What about you? Same. I missed Python tutorial. Yeah, I missed them too. I learned a lot about Python. I'm learning the Django Python web framework now. See, Naras is a beast, man. Go. I love the enthusiasm, man. Keep going. You know, that's awesome. Glad to know. I've also been pretty busy since October, but had a little break these days. Me too. These Python scripts were awesome. Yeah, man. We got to get back into it. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this document real quick. I gotta. Well, there's a moment where you need to stop and breathe and think. My brain is like blank right now. So I'm looking for a document. I'm thinking about where it's located. By the way, I hardly had any sleep last night. So I'm a little bit, little foggy. I'm actually going to be signing off pretty soon for a couple hours to get some more rest, and then I will sign back on and continue. But I want to get the European stuff done now. So document is located where? I need to find it and update it. So go to this directory and wow, I'm really suffering from some sleep deprivation right now because my mind is so foggy. Like the amount of time that it's taking me just to find this document is ridiculous. This is something I use on a regular basis. Well, part of the reason is I'm also working on a different computer, so it's a little bit different workflow than I'd normally be in terms of where things are located. It's a different operating system, you know. So, but that's not the full reason. The other reason is the fact that I'm tired. So I may not sound like it, but I am. So, oh, I know. I created a document, a master document that has the links to everything. So to help me organize things, because I'm managing a lot of projects. Like right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 active development projects right now that I'm managing, and you know, they're not all, things don't all go in sync. You know, it's not a robotic process. You know, any one of these projects can move forward or get delayed at any time. So you're jumping from project to project to project to project, and the big challenge is overlapping in terms of, you know, which project is the one that has the variable issue. Was that project A or was that project B? Who was I supposed to call back today about what thing? And what was the status of project C? Where do we leave off with that? I think there was something we're working on. You know, it's challenging. So you're juggling. So I created a little Word document that's like a project name for all the projects, and real brief to the point. The highlight is kind of a bullet format where you can look at it and highlight it in blue is the most important detail about that development project, where we're at, what the problem is. So in one line, one paragraph or two, I can instantly look and see, oh, we're waiting for this. Like for example, let me see what I can read that's not confidential. So right here, one says new version of code has been to be deployed. So that's actually what we're working on right now. And then I just say delayed by environment issues. Another one says need to figure out, I don't want to get too specific, but let's just say there's a feature that we need to figure out how we're going to implement it, and whether we're going to implement that feature in the first version of the software or the second version. So whether it's a right away thing or a later thing. I have something that's on hold due to certain business changes, which I cannot get into. Yeah, and then I have like ETAs for each, whether QA is done or not, questions, and then I have a link to the document that I need to update right now. So I'm going to click on that link right now so I can update the document. Hopefully the link works because I'm actually using, what is it called? Word Online. So Word Online it's a little weird. It's not quite like Word Client. So like right now I'm clicking on the link and it's not doing anything. It's just flashing at me. So I might just grab my laptop. Yeah, and sometimes in the interest of time, what I've found, someone else joined the live stream and disappeared. Just for a split second they were there and it disappeared. I guess they'll come back. Anyway, sometimes in the interest of time, it's best to choose the simplest method, right? Rather than me sitting here fighting with this Word Online. I know I do this stuff on a daily basis using my laptop with the Mac OS. I think I'm up to Sierra right now. So rather than me fight with this, I'm just going to grab the laptop and do it because I just need to do an update on this document. There's no need to do it on this computer. The priority is to get it done. The priority is to get it done, not necessarily the method at which I choose to get it done, right? So rather than me fight with the Word Online, we're just gonna go this route, right? So get the Arduino out of the way. So all I'm really doing right now is I'm gonna update the version of the code in the document. But I also need to know if there's any configuration changes that need to be done in the environment. So the developer needs to let me know. So I am going to request that information. In the meantime, while I look up this document on my laptop. So let me go to our dev deal here. We actually use Slack for communication. So I'm just going to reach out to the dev who's actually in Europe as well. This is our developer. So I'm going to update the code version in the MOP. I gotta be careful when I do this. Especially when I'm tired. I'm reading what I'm typing. So if I were to type something confidential, I would actually say it. You know, because my brain is tired, so I need to perhaps stop reading what I'm typing. I'm going to update the code version. No, that's not really confidential. Can you let me know if there are any config changes to be made as well? All right, Naraz, do your thing, man. Naraz the Beast. CPU Squad. I'm gonna update the code version. Can you let me? See, I'm typing garbage. I literally said, can you let me if there are any? Can you let me know if there are any config changes to be made as well? I'll add them to the MOP. Okay. So, 05, this version number. So I'm on my laptop. I'm going to go to the... see, I'm having a brain fart again. I'm gonna go to the, okay, so I'm gonna go to the same document that I used to track all my projects. Okay, it's automatically saved online. I was concerned about overwriting something I have open on a different computer, but it's actually the online versions that automatically save it. So let me go to recent, and here's the document. And in this environment, the link should actually work, because it's actually I have Office client installed. However, I've got to log into the VPN, which is annoying, but security is important. So I am going to log on in. So I just typed in my password. I hope you guys weren't able to figure out my password by just listening to me typing, because that would be a problem. That would be a serious security breach. All right, so log in. Come on, Mac. Does some funny things sometimes. So I typed in the password. It's supposed to ask me for a additional code. It's supposed to ask me for an additional code, but it didn't. It always does that. It's so annoying. It gives you a password field. You enter the password. Then that field is supposed to go away, or that whatever box, whatever, it's supposed to go away. And then another box is supposed to pop up asking me for this password, which it's called OTP. I don't even know what that means. But it didn't. So now I'm just stuck in limbo. I already sent my password, but I can't get on the VPN without also entering my the code, which it didn't ask me for. I'm using OpenVPN, by the way. So now I try to log in. It says, oh, I see what's going on. Why am I not on Wi-Fi? Wow. Okay, so the pepcac, the problem is between the keyboard and the mouse. So user error. I wasn't even on the network. But I don't know why that would be, though. The Wi-Fi was on. It's supposed to automatically connect to my Wi-Fi. There is no reason why it wouldn't be on my network. I've never seen that happen before. Anytime Wi-Fi is on and I'm in the house, it should automatically connect. It didn't do that. So, and then OpenVPN didn't even complain. So that's a problem on their side. Like, their code should say, hey man, you're not online, I can't connect. Instead, it just takes my password, doesn't complain, and then it just sits there like staring at me like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? Like, we're just like looking at each other. Can we connect? Like, what's up? If you're unhappy, say something. There we go. So now I got the prompt for the additional code. And now it didn't take the authentication. What is it doing? Now it's asking me for the password again. And it says connecting in the upper screen. The OpenVPN, the system tray says connecting. What are you doing? How are you connecting and then you ask me for a password at the same time? I don't... And keep in mind, all of this, I need to open this document. And I'm spending all this time just trying to get on the VPN. Like, this is such a waste of time. So I'm going to try again for the third time. Now I'm on the Wi-Fi. I just set my password, and I'm going to send this additional code. Continue, and authenticator code is incorrect. How is the authenticator code incorrect? What the hell is going on? Am I that tired that I'm typing in the wrong one, or is it a delayed response? Wow. It's not taking my authenticator code. Why would that be? I don't understand. Well, it's open source. It's you know what I'm gonna do? Let's just yank out all the cables. You know, let's kick this thing down. Let's stop trying to finesse it and then try to be reasonable. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna totally cancel out this the client, this VPN client. So I'm gonna quit it. Start from scratch. We started on the wrong foot. You know, I wasn't even on Wi-Fi, and then whatever happened, I don't know. It's just been a snowball effect going downhill fast. So let's start from scratch. Client is shut down. Let's open up the OpenVPN client. And okay, so that's another thing that's weird. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. It's I guess it's subjective. When you open a client, it doesn't really prompt you anything. It just shows up in the system tray. So by habit, whenever I open an application, I expect to see a prompt. I expect to see something, even if it's like a flash of a splash screen or something That's how most programs work. You know, you launch a program, you know, at a minimum, you get a prompt, loading drivers, loading something, software version, some kind of screen. I mean, 95% of the time, you're going to get the program itself, the GUI will open up, because most programs are GUI based. Now, this is a VPN client, so it's not really very GUI based. It's kind of a background process kind of thing. But still, it would be nice for the user experience for me to see a pop-up, because you click on it and then it's like, did it open? Did it not open? Of course, you get used to it, but I just think that's not the best idea. So anyways, I started it up. It's up in my tray. So now I'm gonna try to log in again. So I'm going connect to VPN. I pasted my password. Now I'm grabbing the OTP code, pasting that. Fingers crossed, and oh my goodness, user temporarily locked out due to multiple authentication failures. Oh, wow. So now I gotta contact the IT guys and have them unlock my VPN. Wow. Okay, this is great. So this is embarrassing. So now I gotta ask for somebody to reset me. All right. So I'm gonna end the live stream at this point. So I can't log. Wow, all of this just to get this. I want to update this version of this document so I can get this code released. And now I got a troubleshooting ticket to get me on the VPN, man. Like. So the IT guy says it's a 10-minute timeout. You'll need to just wait. Wow. Really? I gotta wait for 10 minutes before I get back on the network? Wow. That sucks, man. I'm trying to rush to get this thing done. So he's saying that the authenticator code is wrong, which I knew already. So he wants to know how I'm generating the code. Copy from 1P. Okay, so I'm gonna get out of this chat with this guy because it's a chat that pages everyone. Let me get out of group chat. So is it possible that my Google Authenticator is out of sync somehow? I'll try in 10 minutes, and if it fails, we can troubleshoot. For now, assume the client was just having a bad morning. I don't want to waste his time. Everyone's busy. There's no if if it's gonna time out, and if it's gonna let me try again in 10 minutes, I want to let it do that, and then if it fails, then I can have them troubleshoot. But I don't want to have them troubleshoot if it's just a matter of just waiting. I think it's kind of silly that I gotta wait 10 minutes just to log on a VPN, but but anyway, let's leave it at that. So yeah, so I gotta update that, then they're gonna push the new code, and then we can do the testing. Hopefully it works, and then we can hopefully next couple days get this done to move to production, to get this client live. This is actually not something that's going to be. Let's put it this way. I mean, I got to be sensitive to what I'm putting out there, but let's just say that let's say I work for Verizon and we want to offer fiber optic services in a certain area. We don't necessarily have any clients that have already signed on in that area or customers. But the first step is we want to lay the infrastructure. We want to lay down the cables. So essentially, you could look at it like that's what I'm doing. I'm laying down the cables. But what will come next is the actual clients, right? So there's a difference when you're setting something up for a client, because when you're done, the client starts using it. But when you're just laying the pipes, as it were, then you just want to make sure the pipes are in place and that they are functional, there's no issues, and they are ready for usage by whoever is going to be using them in the future. So that's what we're doing. So pretty much the idea is the next couple of days for this column pipes to be done. And then the next step is business side is going to let us know in terms of, who's going to be using them first, who's going to be the first set of people to use them. And then there'll be a process with getting them set up, and there may be code changes required for those individuals. But on that note, thank you for joining in on the live stream, Noraz and Rosso. So Rosso says, oh my God, man, can't they just do it manually? Yeah, that's a little bit frustrating. Anyway, thanks for joining in, and you guys have an awesome day. And let's do the classic. I know I haven't done this in a while, but CPU squad. Oh, hang on. I like to share with you guys as much as possible. So, in that spirit, I've been getting into plants, trying to hook up my because I got all this wood everywhere. So I got all these wood paneling everywhere, fancy wood paneling, which is extremely expensive, but it's also visually boring because you have just like dark brown everywhere and then you got the white on top. So I've been trying to brighten this place up. So I've been getting plants. Now I have a bad track record for killing plants. So this is going to be interesting to know what happens. This plant has been here for, I think, 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks. So it's still alive. This is a yucca plant, by the way. It is a yucca cane, not a yucca plant. A yucca cane is the plant. I killed one before in this very spot, but that woman that I dated recently, not the French one, the other one, she's actually very much into plants, and she's been giving me some great ideas. So I feel a little bit more confident now, hopefully not too confident, about being able to care for these plants. So far, I'm doing good. The only concern I have is, I don't know if you guys know about plants at all, but I don't know if this is doing good or not. It's like, you see all these leaves are hanging over? Like, look at this right here. Like, this was like this, and now it's like that, right? And look at this right here. See this one? Can you see? Where is this? That's over here. See this one right here? That was like that, and now it's like this. So I don't know if that means it's dying. And then I look at this down here. See this right here? Like, this is all So I don't know. I don't know if you guys know anything about plants. I mean, does this look like a healthy plant to you? I mean, I'm a little bit concerned. It's been doing this like over time, and I feel like over time more and more leaves are hanging over. So I don't know. I mean, I do know that I want to add some water because yeah, this is really dry right now. But this is like a desert plant, so you're supposed to let it dry out. So I, try to do that, but I don't want to dry it out completely. So this definitely needs some water. But it's been like this before that. So it's not like, oh, it's because it's dry. I mean, when it was wet, I've been keeping it wet. It's been doing this. So that's not the issue. And then my other plant over here is a peace lily, which I love these. I got a fake flower. Don't tell people my trick. It's hard to make these things bloom. They got to be in really great condition. And I'm not really that good with plants. So I cheated. And trying to get the beauty of the white flower against the green, which looks really nice instead of just green. This has been doing really good. I feel more confident about this. I think I can take care of this. This was actually dying. I had this thing dying shortly after I bought it. It was definitely drooping. You can see some of the leaves are this is from the damage from before, like that's yellow. So the way that it looks right now is amazing. I thought it was going to die. I was like, this is going to go and I have to return it or whatever. But that lady friend of mine gave me some good tips about soaking it and letting it drain in the sink. And I've been moving it around, giving it different amounts of sun. But anyway, on that note, I'm going to sign off. Let's see what you guys are saying. Russell said he has no experience with plants. But it seems like it dried a bit. Yeah. All right, Naras. So here we go. CPU squad out. All right, guys. Be safe. Have a great day. Love you guys.